Yo, what is up? So in this tutorial, we're gonna continue working on our color picker, and we've got quite a bit to do. We're gonna go ahead and finish this part of it off, or we can, select a different color by just dragging this around. And yeah, let's just hop into it. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into our main menu level. And just like the last one, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to hop over into our materials folder. We got 2 materials we need to make right off the rip. So just right click in here, create a material. We're going to call this one saturation slider underscore M. And we're going to open that one up, and we're going to highlight that. Go to the material domain. We're going to change this to user interface. Do a save, and I'm just gonna check my notes here and check my references for what we gotta do in here. I think it's this one. Yeah, so we want to create this material right here. So first thing, let's right click, and we're gonna get a vector parameter. And a vector parameter just, is a way of being able to change colors and stuff. That's all this thing does. We're gonna rename this though to be color, and let's make the default red. Red. Yeah, let's take those out. We're gonna make the default red because by default on the color picker thing, the little selection circle thing is in the top left corner, and by default that color is red. So we're gonna make this by default red. And the next thing we want is we need a texture coordinate. So right click, get a texture coordinate like that, and then we want to break out 2 components. So break out float 2 component like that, and then we want to get a 1 minus off of the R channel. Just get a 1 minus, and then I believe we're gonna lerp this. Yeah, so we're gonna get a lerp linear interpolate, and we want this 1 minus to go into the alpha of that. Just hook that in there, unplug it from the A, and let's see, the B we're gonna make a constant of 1. So just press 1 and click, hook that into the B, make that constant value 1, and then this color is going to go into the A, right? Yeah, and now we can just hook that up, and that'll be the color for our slider. You see the left side is super white, white side is going to be where all the saturation is. So we'll leave that like that. That material should be good. So we need to make another material. So go into your material color picker folder here, and we're gonna make another material, and this is gonna be our value slider underscore M, and we're gonna do something pretty similar in here. So open it up, highlight this, go to the material domain. We're gonna go to user interface, make it user interface, and now I want to get my other reference, which is this one. Something pretty similar. So we're gonna right click, and we're gonna get a vector parameter, and we're gonna call this color, and by default we're gonna leave that black. So off of this we're gonna lerp linear interpolate, and we're gonna set, we need a constant, so press 1 and click, and the value is gonna be 1. Hook that into the B like that, and then we want to get a texture coordinate and break out 2 again. So texture coordinate, and then we're gonna get a break out 2 component, and this one is gonna come from the R channel again. So just hook that into the alpha like that. And we wanted lerp again off of this lerp. So just lerp linear interpolate, and we can go ahead and hook that in right there. And what we want to set this lerp to is 0.1 and 0. So just go in the B, set it to 0.1, set the alpha to 0, like that. And that should be good. Yep. Alright, so just apply and save. And now, time to get to the fun parts. So let's go into the blueprints, widgets, main menu widgets. And we're going to go ahead and just apply this material to our sliders here. So go to your top one. This is going to be our saturation. Go to the style. We're going to set the normal, hovered, and disabled style of this to be our saturation slider. So just set it to that material. You can hit the magnifying glass and just hit the back button on these other ones here. And hit compile and save. And you see that material applies to the slider here. Also, while we're on the slider, let's go to the... just go up here and search and type in thumb. Let's see. Let's go into the normal and hovered thumb image right here. We're gonna set the Y value to be like 20, just so it's bigger. It'll be easier to see. So go into the image size of both of those Ys and set it to 20. You can see the difference. Like, this is kind of small and blocky. This one stretches out a little bit more across. And we'll go ahead and do that to our value slider as well. So just click on that one while we got this open. Just set these Y values to 20. Like that. It'll make that little thing right there a little bigger. So compile and save. And now we just want to set these images to our value slider. So go to your style. We're going to set the normal, hovered, and disabled to our value slider material right here. Put that in there, hit the search, hit the back button on both of these, and you can see that material applies to those. So compile and save. And alright, so let's hop over here into the graph. We got a lot of stuff to do in here. First thing we're going to do is go up here on the event construct. We're actually going to grab the pre-construct. Let me pull that out. Pre-construct. And if you don't know, the pre-construct basically works like how the it's basically the same thing as the construction script in the third-person character. And if you don't know how the construction script works, the construction script is basically, this is something that runs before you play the game, whereas like, you know, event begin play or like event tick, that is something that runs after you play the game. So like, we set all this stuff up with our metahumans, and if you remember, before we set this stuff up in the construction script, our metahuman was like, you know, not attached together and stuff like that. Like the body was just like not attached. And as you can see, after we put all of this stuff in, you can see without the game running that our metahuman is attached. And that's just a, you know, basic rundown for how the construction script works, which is kind of the same thing for how the pre-construct works as well. So let me find my reference for what we're doing here. Let's see. I think it's this one. Nope. This one right here. So on the pre-construct, we want to... Okay, we need to make the functions first. Okay. So we're going to scroll way up. And we're going to go to the functions here. And we're going to make a new function. We're going to call this first one update saturation bar. So, update saturation bar, like that. And what we're gonna do in here, let me just find my reference. I think it's this one. Yeah, update saturation bar. So we're gonna get the saturation slider. So just get your saturation slider like that. And we're going to, we want to get the style, so pull off and get style like that. And then we're just going to right click on this and split struct pin. And what we want to do here is we want to get dynamic material for the normal and hovered. So just pull off of this, get dynamic material, and then we can just copy and paste that and get the dynamic material of the hovered as well. Let me just straighten these up. There we go. And then we just want to set the vector parameter value. So pull off of this, and we're going to set vector parameter value for both of these. And parameter name, we're just going to call this skin color, like that. And the value here, we're going to hook into the, we're going to make it an input on our function here. So just plug it in over there, and then we're going to plug this up. And we're going to name that value color. So click on your input over here, go to your inputs, and we're going to call this color. Like that. So that's that function. So we can go back to the event graph, and we can add this update saturation bar to our pre-construct. And let me look at that other ref real quick. And the color, you can set this to a default color if you want to. You can just change it to something. That's what I did in here. I just went in and kind of made it close to like a skin color by default. And we're done with that, so let me close that. Now we need to make our update update value, which is going to be this one, update value bar. A little bit more simple. So we're going to make another function called update value slider. And all we want to do in here is get our value slider, and then set slider bar, and then, you know, set the value as an input. So we're going to get value slider and set slider bar color. Set slider bar color. This appearance one on the top. If you look, there's another one. You don't want to get the other one. Set value bar. Set slider bar. Yeah, there's the variable ones, and then there's the appearance one. You want the appearance one. You don't want the variable one. We're just gonna plug this in, and we're gonna plug this value into the input over there. And we're gonna name that color as well. So click on it, go to the end value down here, and we're just gonna call it color. And we will compile and save. And if you look back, those, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So, next thing we're gonna do, hey, someone joined the Discord. Welcome. So the next thing we're gonna do is we need to, let me see. I think all we need to do is update the values for when this stuff changes. So let me look at my reference for that. Close that for now. Which is going to be this right here. So this is for the Synth 2D slider. So we're going to click on our Synth 2D slider right here, our color picker. We're going to go down. We're going to get on value changed X. We're going to click that plus right there. We're just going to pull this down. Then we're going to go back to the designer. We're going to scroll back down, and we also want get value changed Y. So we get, you know, the values changed for both directions. And we want to make a function here called update selected color. So come back up. We're going to make a function called update selected color. And this function is basically where all the magic's going to happen. So we're going to open this function. And I need to pull my reference up for this, which is this one right here. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do in this one. So we want to get our color picker synth 2D slider. So let's do that. We're just going to right click, get color picker synth 2D slider right here. And we want to get the value of that. So get value. And we're going to right click on this and split struct. And we want to do let's see. Off of the X, we're gonna multiply. So pull off of here and multiply. We're gonna multiply that by 360. And then off the Y, we're just gonna subtract, but we want this to be in the bottom pin, and on the top we want to subtract 1. So basically we're doing a 1 minus, and we want to do that twice for the Y. So just duplicate this, copy and paste, plug this in to the bottom value of that subtract as well, and we'll get to that in a bit. So off of this multiply right here, we want to get an HSV to RGB, which is basically this does basically what we did with the material when we made the material for our color picker. So just pull off of here, get HSV to RGB like that, and let's see, we want to hook this into the H, and then for the S and V we want to get our saturation slider and our value slider. So right click, get a saturation slider, and we want to get the value slider, and we want to get the values of both of these. So get value, and then get value, and saturation is going to go into S, value is going to go into V, and the alpha can stay 1. And then we also want to do HSV to RGB again off of this 3 multiplication. Just copy and paste that one there, and I think this is going to go into S. Let me double check. Yeah, H, then S, V, and A are just going to be set to 1. So like that. And then let's see, we want to pull in our update saturation bar right here and set this to the color, and we want to update the value bar as well off of the same HSV to RGB. So just pull in the update value slider, set this as the color, plug it in, and then what we want to do is off of this one we want to set brush color of our current color picker. So let's go back to the designer real quick and click on this current color. We're gonna this border right here, we're just gonna rename this to current color. Let's call it current skin color, and we're gonna set that to be a variable. So compile and save, go back to the graph, and actually let's call this selected color, because current color, this isn't going to show the color that we have, you know, before we select a color. So let's call it selected skin color. Let's go back and rename that, and we're going to hop back into the graph and pull this selected skin color in, and we want to set brush color. Just grab this guy, set brush color right here, and we want to set that color to be the color from this bottom HSV to RGB. So plug that in, and now we want to set vector parameter value at the end here. So set vector parameter value like that, and we need to make a material collection. We will do that here in a minute. Let's go ahead and just finish off what we have in here. So we're gonna set the parameter value to this HSV to RGB like that, and we're gonna finish off what we didn't do up here in the front, which is we need to get our value slider and saturation slider. So just copy both of these down here and then paste them. And we're also gonna make a branch here, so press B and click, and we're gonna hook this in, and we're gonna hook the condition into the input there. We're gonna call that update value bar. So click on this. We're going to rename that boolean to update value bar. And what we want to do here is on our value slider, we're going to set value to, it's going to be our 1 minus right here. So this first one right here, set value, and plug this into the true. And we want to do the same thing for the saturation slider. We should be able to just plug that in, actually. We might not need 2 of those. Might be a little redundant that I did here. And then we just want to plug this into the update saturation bar. Then off default, we're just going to skip over this set value and plug that into the set update saturation bar as well. And that should be all we need to do in here. So compile and save. Actually, no, we got more to do, but we're going to have to come back to this here in a minute. So go back to the event graph, and we want to pull in the update selected color right here. Plug this into both of these values, and let me check my reference on, I forget if this one was true or false, so let me check. Okay, yeah, we want this one to be true, so check that true box right there. Then we also want to grab this on value change saturation slider and on value change value slider. So let's go back, and we're going to click on our saturation slider. We're going to scroll down. We're going to get on value changed, and we're just going to set this here. We're going to go back to the designer, click on the value slider, go back to on value changed, and we're just going to copy and paste this function here. So copy and paste, and hook this in like that. And let's see, this one should be false. Uncheck that update value bar. Yeah, like that, and then compile and save. And now we need to go make our new material that we have to make for this. So let's go into our material folder here, color picker. We're gonna right click, and we're gonna go to the material menu right here. We're gonna make a material parameter collection. So we're going to call this MP underscore color picker. And we're going to open this up on the vector parameters. We're going to hit the plus right here. And the default value, you can kind of change this to like a skin color. Just kind of find one, because this will, for at least for a second, it's going to be what our character looks like. And the parameter name, we're going to call this skin color, like that. And now what we want to do is we want to, let's go into our third person right here, blueprints, third person character, go to the viewport. We're going to click on the torso here, go to your material here, we're going to open that up. Then we're going to scroll down, and we're going to open the parent of that. Close that other one down, and then open the parent of that one, this body skin right here. And we're gonna change out this with our new new material. So what is it called? Material collection. What is that called? Material parameter something. Let me right click and just look. Material parameter collection. Material parameter. Right click parameter collection parameter. That's what it's called in here. So yeah, just get that. And the collection we're gonna use is our MP color picker right here. And the parameter name, set that to be your skin color right here. And then for this, you can't just plug it in. You'll get a warning. This took me a minute to figure out, but what you got to do here is off of this, because this is a float 4, you can't just plug this in. So what you got to do to make this work is you got to pull off of here, and you want to mask. Mask, and you see we get the R and the G channel, and then you just come over here and press the B channel. And something else we're gonna do here, something else I kind of added to this, is we're gonna right click, and we're gonna get a static switch parameter, and we're gonna call this use color picker. So this is basically a static switch parameter, is basically a boolean, but in materials. So you see you have a true and a false here. So based on different conditions, you can, you know, either use one, you know, set of rules, or if it's false, use another set of rules. So that's what we're gonna do here. So if we do want to use the color picker, we're gonna use this. If we don't want to use the color picker, we're just gonna use our regular base color right there, and then we're gonna plug this into the A of this lerp right here, and then we're just gonna apply and save. And before we do anything, go to your third person character, and on your material instance here, hit the search bar on that, and we're gonna duplicate the material we're using here. So just duplicate it, and we're gonna rename this to be we're just gonna go to the front. We're just gonna add in MP, so that we know this is our material parameter collection, like that. And then we're gonna open this one, and you see we have this global static switch parameter value. We're gonna check that, because this is the material we want to use if we want to use our color picker. So let me actually look at something. Yeah, making sure this is updating. Yeah, you see it'll update the material when you change the colors over here. This material updates, but if you look at our other one that we copied it from, because we added that static switch, this one looks normal. It's not using that. So that one's good, but we got to add this to the face as well. So let's just do a save all real quick, and go back into your third person character here, click on the face, and we're gonna go to we're just gonna open just search on a material here, and we're gonna open it. Then we're gonna open the parents of these as well. So go down to the parent, open it, close that one out, go down to the parent of this one, and we're going to do the same thing in this material. It is absolutely redonkulous in here. So yeah, we're just going to do the same thing. Collection parameter here. And we're going to get our MP color picker. And we're going to get the parameter name of skin color. And we're going to also make a static switch in here. So just, actually, we need to mask first. So pull off of here. We're going to mask. And make sure you check the blue channel here. And then we're going to right click and get a static switch parameter. And we're going to call this use color picker. And we're going to hook the true into this one. We're going to hook the false into this one. Then we're going to hook this wire into this reroute node right here. And that one should be good. So just apply and save. And then you want to go back to your third person character after this. We can close all these materials down right here for now. They are good to go. And then for me, since I'm using LOD4, I only need to do this to my material that contains LOD4. So click on your face. If you're using a higher LOD and your LODs are changing up and down, I'll show you what you have to do once we get to that point. But for me, all I have to do is change this material right here, this element 13. Actually, no, we're gonna duplicate. Yeah, let's search on our element 0 material here. Just search on that one. And I'm gonna duplicate this one. And then Like before, I'm just going to go to the beginning of this and add MP to it, so I know it's my material parameter. Then I'm going to open that up and set, I got to find it in here. It'll say use color picker, yeah, right here. Set that to be true. That way, you see the color changes to the color of our color picker here. So save that. This should be good here. And now, what we want to do, we want to go back into our main menu widget. Blueprints, widgets, main menu. And let's see, we want to go back into the function, so open this back up. And we're going to set this collection here to be our MP color picker. Parameter name, skin color. Compile. And save, and let's see if that's good. I did some other stuff on the first version, but I don't think it's necessary now that I added that static switch, but let's just give it a little test real quick. Let's see. Skin color, you see right now our skin color is normal. Oh, actually, we do have to do something. I forgot. So on the value change, off of our color picker synth 2D slider, we want to, if we do change the value, we're gonna get our player ref. Get player ref right here. And I'm gonna get the torso. We want to get all our body parts here. So get torso, get legs, and get hands. Like this. And then we're going to set material so that whenever we move the value of this, we're going to set the material to our MP. Let's just go find it. Let's click on our body here, hit the search on that, and use our MP body color right here. So go back to the main menu, add this material in there, and for the body we can just leave that element 0, so just plug it in. But for the face, this is what I was trying to say a second ago. Pull off and get your face. And if you're using more than one LOD, you'll want to set the material for each LOD. And yeah. And you may even want to, let me just pull in our face. MPMI should pull it up right here, and then go to search on this. So each of these materials are to your different LODs, so you may want to duplicate each one of these, and then you know, have a different material for each. You may want to have, you know, this static switched version of these. You may want to have one for each one of your LODs, but for me, I'm just using one LOD, so I just need this one material. So yeah, I'm gonna set that to here, and you want to set the element index because mine is only one LOD. I just need the element for my LOD, which is gonna be LOD 4 right here, which is element 13. So just set that, and now let's give it a little test. And let's see. So detailed appearance, skin color, adjust color. The legs did not change for some reason. Did we not get legs? But you see the rest is working. Oh yeah, we totally didn't plug in legs or hands. Yeah, you want to plug those in. Let's do that again. Looks like it's working though. So detailed appearance, skin, adjust color, and then once you change this, it'll adjust the color, and it works. And then the way you know, you can move this around, but you can also come down here and, you know, adjust your saturation sliders and stuff too, and the value sliders by themselves. because the way we have this set up right now is when you click and drag, it'll update the saturation and value, but you may want to, you may not, you may want to come down here and have your value down here while you're dragging it, and then you can still come and update the saturation of it and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty versatile. You can get some cool colors. And yeah, that's all we're gonna do for this one. So in the next one, we're actually gonna go ahead and set up our some of our preset colors. I'm not gonna set up all of them because that'll take forever. But I'll get you started on it, and then you can take over from there. But we're gonna call it here. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're new around here, definitely subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know those down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.